Hello and welcome back to American Truck Simulator. As you can see, we're back in the game. If you were following this series a while back, it's been a while. This is one of those games that I kind of come back to every once in a while. I play it for a little bit and then I get bored with it because, you know, there's only so much to do driving down the road and it gets kind of old after a while. But I do always end up coming back to it eventually, and here we are again. Now, the funny thing is that I kind of ran out of other games to play, which is one of the reasons I considered coming back to this, and I've been looking for something else to add to my schedule of games to publish. And you know, it's kind of weird that I happened to decide today to go and play this again because a major update for the game dropped. I promise I didn't know anything about it. I had no idea that there was anything going. I only saw that there was an update because I clicked to install the game and the news said, "Oh, major update." And I was like, "Oh, okay." So a lot of things have changed. Apparently, there's a bunch of interface changes. As you can see, everything is kind of laid out in a different way. The navigation stuff is very similar to what it had, and it kind of went with the new flat UI mod that I had, so I'm actually pretty content with this. Now, I've been having some issues with the control scheme not doing what I want it to do. So, for example, I have it set up for my left D-pad on my controller to make it turn left, and my right D-pad to make it turn right. It's not doing it. It will let me do the backup view here. But it won't let me look left and look right. I'm not sure why. I can't get it to fix itself. So for example, I come into here and then I go into the keys and buttons here, and then I scroll down to where all the camera stuff is, and it's set, you know, I can interior look right, interior look left, and it's not doing what I want it to do. I mean, I guess I can try to do this and see if maybe that is the problem. Maybe they changed it to where it's something different now. No, my left and right keys just, they won't do what I want it to do. So I'm a little frustrated by that because I really kind of need to be able to look left and right to safely navigate where I'm trying to go. And for whatever reason, it's just not responding to my desire to be able to look left and right with this. So I'm not sure what the problem is, and I really don't want to use my mouse to do that because that's really awkward. So I'm not sure. Oh, you know what? I think I had some kind of locking something that locked my view in. Give me a second to look at that, and then I'll be right back. Okay, I remember what it was. I was playing around with head tracking, and for whatever reason, that disabled my ability. As long as head tracking is turned on, you can't use the left and right modes there. So that's what that was. Okay, I think now we figured out everything that was an issue. Let's go look for a job. It did end up asking us to relocate, but it had us near Ogden, so this is where I put us. So let's find ourselves a decent paying load that ideally isn't going to take that long to get done. I don't know that I want it. That's probably actually a pretty decent run for this first time. I do plan on getting back to doing time-lapse videos for these with some music background and all that. But for this first video back, I think we'll just take a nice, short, easy load. Oh, well, it kind of helps to actually pick loads that are here. A nice, short, easy load that shouldn't take us too long to get done. I mean, 5 hours in-game time. I'm not sure how long that's going to actually take. I think maybe we'll do this one just to do something easy. That way I can kind of ease my way back into this, because I don't really remember. Oh, it's like you never really forget how to do this. It's driving, and I drive. Well, I mean, I used to drive every day, but I mean, driving's not that difficult. So yeah, we'll get this going. I feel like the graphics are a little more. Let me turn down the volume here. It's a little much. I feel like the graphics are a little jumpy for me more than it used to be. I'm not sure why. And I'm not really sure what I need to check to be able to find out what the problem is. Now, I did see that the scaling in the graphics options was set up to like 400. I don't know. Let's drop it down to like 200. Adaptive clarity. Okay. And then the anti-aliasing here, we'll leave it at that. It's probably going to reload because well, maybe not. I don't know if the scaling is the problem or not. It can be, but yeah, it seems a little smoother. And I'm not, well, not really. I guess not. It's not really that smoother. Doesn't matter. We'll figure it out. All right, so we are it's gonna take us 13 miles to go get our load, and then we have to do another 200, or I don't know. It was another 2 hours of in-game time, which shouldn't really translate into too much.
Take the next left.
I use the turn signals mostly to allow me to kind of glance off to the direction that we're going to be going. So I can't leave. I'm not going to leave them on here because we won't be able to see any. I mean, we'll be able to see, but it'll look weird having our angle turned off to the side like that. I also don't remember if my previous videos had the face cam. So if you watched those videos before and you're coming back now and it's different, then hi, welcome back to the channel. I've been using the face cam for a while on all my other games, so. I don't remember if I implemented that before this or before I stopped playing this or what, but yeah, here we are. All right, they were kind enough to let us go, so that's very nice. Get ourselves out of this little town here.
Then turn left. Turn left.
Oh, very nice. The problem with using a controller to do this is that while it is convenient and comfortable to use, I end up having to tap the brakes all the time. And that's one of the reasons that I don't run with air brake simulation on, because when you do it that way, you use up a lot of air. But I have to do it that way because it's just awkward to try to control the. Hold on. It's awkward to try to control the brakes in a reasonable way with such a small throwing analog device. So it is what it is.
Turn left.
So if you're hearing a bunch of psh, 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 that's because I'm using a controller to do this right now. I do have pedals, but the thing about that is that it's kind of well, I don't have pedals. They are pedals, but they're not driving pedals. They're my rudder pedals for my flight software that I can use for driving a truck like this, especially since I kind of have to drive it in automatic anyway. I don't have the shifter and all of that. So I have done that in the past where I use my flight yoke and my rudder pedals as like actual steering wheel and pedals. But especially for longer drives, I don't have a particularly comfortable seat, and it gets uncomfortable after. It gets a little painful after a while. Is the word I'm looking for. So I use the controller, and because I use the controller, and I also use the right stick as my forward and my accelerator and brake, because I'm not comfortable with using the triggers for that. It's not intuitive for me. I've spent many years playing racing games and stuff using the right stick as my accelerator and brake, and that's just what I have myself trained for. So yeah, for this right here, to get a nice clean, nice looking stop, I have to kind of tap the brakes until I slow down to the point, because if I don't tap it, I'll over brake real quick, and then I end up stopping well before what I'm trying to get to. So that's why you hear a bunch of psh, psh, psh over and over and over again, because it is what it is. I'm noticing that when I look over at my recording software, I actually need to I don't think my camera's not looking in the proper direction. I actually need to invert my camera, because when I look over to the left, it's not actually looking over to the left on my screen. So I got to fix that. I had it set up, but this all kind of ties into the same thing. I'm noticing when I look over at my recording software, which is actually that way on the screen. When I look that way, it's supposed to look left, and I'm looking left on the screen. Regardless, as I run into these guys. When I look over at the recording software, I notice that the audio meters are like glitching. I don't want to say glitching. It's like when you're watching choppy video. So something is causing my system resources to be almost maxed out, and I'm hoping that's not affecting the audio quality, because I recently swapped my camera NVIDIA and my camera and audio away from using the NVIDIA broadcast software, because I was noticing it was causing my audio to cut out really bad in some situations, and I switched the microphone back to the... I already switched my video away because some of the games were struggling to remove my background, and again, well, I don't know. I don't remember if I had my face cam on for that or not. And even if I did, I'm pretty sure I didn't have... I'm pretty sure I was still using background removal for that. But I removed that because it was an unnecessary drain on my system for that, and I just didn't want to deal with it anymore. And then I also, today, because I was trying to record another video and it was causing me issues, I removed because I was using NVIDIA Broadcast for... Hold on, let me focus on this for a second. We're going to take this job. I was using NVIDIA Broadcast to do the noise suppression and all that stuff to remove like the air conditioner sound from behind me. OBS has that functionality, but it's just not as good. But using the OBS version, the recording software that I use, seems to get rid of the occasional choppy or the occasional cutout on my audio, which is super frustrating. So hopefully that's working. Hopefully you're not getting any kind of choppy audio right now. I'm going to assume that it's probably working, but when I start seeing the audio mixer levels being all choppy like that, it starts to make me wonder if I'm having some issues. So let's get ourselves into here. Couple that, and then we'll be ready to get on the road. Oop, helps to actually put it back in drive, huh? That's smart of me. Yeah, so we'll go get this load delivered. It's only 170 miles. And then you guys let me know, especially those of you who watched my content before, would you prefer I just drive for the entire time and just try to talk about stuff? I mean, I've gotten fairly good at just randomly talking about stuff over the years, so I can do that. Or do you like? When I was doing the cuts or the time lapses with the music backgrounds and stuff in between picking up stuff and dropping them off? Did you like that better? Because I'm fine. I'm fine doing either one, and I mostly just want to make sure that I'm putting out content you guys are interested in watching. And if you guys are more interested in you know, having a nice chill background music thing in between, so you don't have to sit and wait for the load to be delivered, we can do that. But at the same time, I'm not going to sit here and do a recording for like an hour or an hour and a half trying to get, you know, X amount of minutes of video to get that done. So if we do the cuts or if we do the time lapses and stuff, it's going to be probably just one load and it'll be a relatively short video. So I don't know. I'm kind of on the fence about if I even want to do that. I think people watch me. I think people who watch my channel watch it because I guess they kind of enjoy listening to me talk, or you know, I imagine it's me. I imagine it's just me talking about stuff, randomly talking about stuff. I don't know that for a fact, but that's my guess. So you know, I can sit here and talk for about a half hour if I need to. And that's probably what it's going to end up being, just because I'm sure that's probably the best format for this anyway. You know, anybody can do a time lapse. Most people can't. Most people aren't going to be interesting for the entire ride of a truck thing here. So we'll try to make that happen, but I make no promises. All right, we're going to go ahead and go and hope that these guys don't run into me. I'm not sure what that beeping noise is. If you live outside of the United States and you're wondering why I just made a right turn on a red, we are allowed to do that here in the United States. That is a standard thing. And if you come here and do not turn... Oh, this actually has me turning left. And if you come here and you do not turn right on red, we will get irritated with you because you're wasting our time. So... yeah, if you live in another country where you're not allowed to do that, be aware and be advised that this is something that we do here, and you are expected. You are expected. It is not. It's not that. I mean, technically it's an option, but realistically you are expected and almost required to turn right on red, because people get annoyed when you sit there at the stoplight holding them up from being able to make their right turn because you don't know that. So just be aware, if you're gonna come here and drive here, don't be afraid to turn on red. Just make sure you stop doing that when you go back to wherever it is that you drive normally. Yeah, it's super frustrating when you're kind of in a hurry and you want to get somewhere, and then you got somebody who's from somewhere and they don't understand the rules here, and then they're sitting there at the stoplight and you're like, and they got their turn signal on too, and you're like, what's going on, dude? Make the turn already. You're like, hurry up, get out of my way. You're making it take longer to get where I'm going. Hurry up. So yeah, just be aware of that. It's actually it's not legally required that you have to turn on red, but it's one of those what's the word I'm looking for? It's one of those social.
Use the left lane to stay.
I don't even know what the word is. It's
Then
one of those
turn
customs.
left.
It's one of the customs that we have here, and most people take it pretty seriously.
Take
Like
the next
people
left.
do get really irritated when you mess that up. Oh, I think were we able to turn left there? Oh wait, this is one of those weird offset intersections that they do somewhere in certain places around the country. That light was for a different part of the intersection. I'm not used to that yet. That's, from what I understand, it actually helps out with traffic quite a lot, but it's very weird and we're not used to that kind of stuff yet, so we gotta... Alright, this is one of those situations where I'm gonna do some things that aren't necessarily legal, because for my own purposes and also for, gameplay, trying to get things done purposes, we're not going to sit and wait for this stuff. So I will slow down and try to get over here now. I think that's some kind of proximity sensor. I'm not aware of what it is specifically, but yeah. So in a second, I think I kind of want to try to get the cruise control turned on. And then, yeah, I'm pretty sure it's letting me know that there's some kind of object nearby. Please pull in for a vehicle inspection. Great, thanks, appreciate that. Not like we don't have other things to get done today. Now you're gonna make me stop and go get weighed. Yeah, you guys suck. Okay. Stop the truck and activate the icon. So now we gotta wait for this guy. So while that... Oop, oh, whoa. Okay, hold on a second. I just want to take a second while I'm having to wait for this, because I really want to try to flip my camera around, because it's not pointing in the right way. So flip horizontal. And now... Okay, so now I look left, and it's actually left. That makes more sense now. Okay. Did I pass it, or? I'm confused. Okay, there we go. And away we go. Alright, sorry about that. Yeah, it bugs me when things aren't the way I expect them to be. Because when I look over to the left, I'm looking over at my recording software, and then over on my right side of my screen, because I have a super, I don't want to say super, but I have a really ultra-wide monitor that's basically the size of two standard 1080p monitors, and it's a single monitor. It's one of those curved ones. I bought it because I thought I was going to start doing like work from home stuff, and then I didn't end up doing that. But it works well for gaming, and especially works well for my current setup here, because I can have my game running in a 1080p window in the middle of my screen, and then I can have two kind of smaller screens on either side, and that allows me to like multitask with three different things. So I can have a big main screen that I'm doing my main work on in the middle of the screen. That's like a full-size monitor size of a screen. And then I can have like reference stuff on the left and reference stuff on the right. Or in this case, I have my game in the middle, and then I have my recording OBS software on the left side, and then my Windows Explorer on the right side to monitor my files and stuff as they're being created and all of that. So it's important to me that when I look off in the direction of my recording, for continuity purposes, I want to make sure that when I look over there, it's actually looking in the direction of where the software is, because when I look left and my face on the screen doesn't turn left, it's disorienting for me a little bit. I know that's my problem and not yours. Man, we're getting whoa.
Then turn right.
All right, there's some serious traffic going on right now, and it's really getting annoying. They want me to turn right. I think it's hard to tell because of all these sun shafts that are going on, but I think they might have this blocked off. We're gonna try to wiggle our way through this.
Take the next right.
Because I'm not particularly interested in having to take a detour. So we're going to bypass that. I have traffic offenses and everything turned off for this because there were specific reasons why I did. They're kind of BS reasons, but also kind of not BS reasons. I think one of them is that sometimes the AI will randomly run into you and then you still get charged even though they run into you. So I definitely had traffic offenses turned off partially because of that. And then I think the other thing is that although one of my viewers at one point did mention something about the stoplights, you remember how I said we could turn right on red? The game sometimes has an issue with that. And I'll make a right turn, and it'll still ping me for running the red light, even though I was legally allowed to make a right turn there. So I have traffic offenses turned off because of those particular issues. It's super frustrating to lose money because some other jackass AI thing, decides to make a random turn or pulls in front of you and stops or does some stupid stuff like that, and then you still get charged for that rather than it being the AI's fault. So. That's what that is. It is what it is. I don't know. So sometimes I get impatient and I just go ahead and drive how I want to drive. Today we'll kind of keep it reasonably within the speed limit, I think. So I gotta remember. Okay, here we go. Gotta remember the cruise control settings. I use my keyboard arrow keys for that to get it turned on and set. I'm a little annoyed. I don't remember what the high beam button is. Oh yeah, I have the automatic high beam turn off thing happening too. So I think I have some light mods. I installed a bunch of mods in my last iteration of all of this. And one of those was a lighting mod, and I think it was supposed to make the light brighter and better and easier to see, but I don't think it's doing that good of a job. Or maybe the mod really only starts working once it starts getting nighttime. I don't really know what's going on with it, but I would expect to have a little bit more view. But it seems to be getting better now. It seems to be getting a little better now. Maybe there's just some kind of weird transition with the sunset that's causing it to not show up very well, because there was a serious darkness that was happening that I would have expected to be a little bit less pronounced, but it ended up not being that way. One of the reasons why I'm back here on American Truck Simulator is because I was trying to play Star Trucker. Oops. I was trying to play Star Trucker, and that game was just frustrating me really bad. It has a bunch of issues with it. One, obviously, the first and foremost among them is just they have no control customization, so you're forced to use the keybinds that they've decided. They also have no joystick. Also have no joystick control, which is kind of a deal breaker. It's not a deal breaker, but it's a big deal, and it all adds up to be a deal breaker. And then just the sluggishness of the controls, the inability to have any kind of lateral thrust or anything like RCS control. Again. Guys are killing me with these stupid way stations. The inability to have any kind of RCS control, and then the kind of the two straws that kind of broke the camel's back for that game for me was the fines in the game that are just constantly dinging you for even the most minor of infractions, and they're not very clear about what the fines are and how to avoid them. Hold on, I gotta pay attention here for a second. they're not very clear about what the fines are and, you know, the right way to avoid them. So you basically just have to assume that you have to drive perfectly or you're going to get a fine. That was really frustrating. And then also just the fact that I kept constantly getting hull breaches, and it was super frustrating to have to stop every 5 seconds to fix that. Now, one of my viewers did point out that my hull, when I was looking at my stat thing, was about at 0%, and that's why every time I tapped anything, I was getting a hull breach. But the game didn't really make a point of that to make it very clear that, you know, that's something I need to pay attention to. And then on top of that, they didn't make a very good point of what I needed to do to fix something like that. So there's a tutorial thing where you kind of follow some missions and they kind of tell you what to do. I think the mechanic part where you're supposed to where they show you where to take your truck to go get things fixed and repaired and stuff like that, that needs to be way earlier in the process, because I think they were trying to get to that, but I needed to get my truck to 80,000 miles, and to do that I had to do like several missions, like a bunch of missions to accumulate the mileage I needed to get to the truck customization, which I assume is what was going to end up being the mechanic that I go to fix things too. So I don't know. It's just, there's a lot. I feel, I said it in other games, but I feel like the Star Trucker game itself is one of those projects where they were like, it's so close, we just want to publish this damn thing, let's just publish it now, and then we'll fix the last little bits of things as we go. And I have a problem with that, especially when you're going to charge money for it. It's like, if you're going to charge money for something, you should have a completely finished product that has no more major things that need to be done to it. Or you need to market as early access so people know, hey, this isn't quite finished yet. I feel like it was just rushed out of. I feel like it was just rushed out of the final development phase. They didn't feel like doing all the last little bits of quality control stuff that you're supposed to do, and they just kind of said, "Yeah, screw it, we're going to publish it now." And the reason that bothers me is that, like, I have a rather extensive DCS F-18 Hornet flight school campaign that I came up with, and it's like 95% probably done. I could publish it right now, and it's more or less a complete flight school, but I haven't been able to sit down and do all of the many hours of quality control to make sure that everything works and that there's nothing that people are going to sit down and say, hey, this is a major problem. I haven't had the time to sit down and do it. And I don't have a head tracking solution that's good enough for that game, which is what's causing that particular issue. But the point I'm trying to make is that as somebody who has developed things like that before, maybe not on the scale of, you know, a game like Star Trucker, but, you know, I've done some software development, and I've also developed some things that are for gaming and things like that. And I still have something that could probably be making me some money if I would just publish it, if I could finish it and just publish it. And I'm still holding on to it because I don't want to publish it without it being actually ready to go. And it kind of offends me when people publish something or put something out there that's not ready, and they're just like, nah, it's good enough, and we don't care that these things that are still wrong with it are going to bug people. We're just going to publish it because we want to start making some cash. I don't like that. To me, I'd rather not make the money and not put something out there that's going to like make me look bad, than to publish something, you know, maybe make some money, but then, you know, a bunch of people are going to see that I put out a half-assed product. It's just the way I think about it. And that's kind of how I feel about Star Trucker. Like, it looks nice. It's impressive that 2 people designed that game, but at the same time, I get the distinct impression that it was like, you know what, we've been working on this for a long time. We need to make some money off of this damn thing. We're just going to publish it now, even though, you know, it needs another few months of quality control and a few more quality of life things. And it kind of bugs me that that's how that went. But anyways, I went into that whole story because that's another reason why I'm kind of back here, because it was a truck/space simulator game. And as I was playing it, I was like, you know what? I like playing American Truck Simulator and Euro Truck Simulator way better than this. So, you know, why am I not just playing that? And I didn't want to make any more space trucker videos. Is it Space Trucker? I forget the name of it already. I think it's called Space Trucker or Star Trucker. I didn't want to make any more of those videos because the game itself was just really irritating me, and this game is just way better. So if I'm going to make some trucking videos, we'll just make some trucking videos.
Then turn
But we are
left.
almost here at our destination, so we're gonna I'm gonna start focusing on that a little bit more. Try to make sure I don't hit this truck there, this SUV there.
Keep right.
It's hard to tell. I don't have I think if I had like my own trailer, I would be able to put some. I keep hearing this tapping sound behind me. I'm
Use
not
the
sure what it
left
is.
lane to stay on the current road. Then
I don't.
turn
If I
left.
had my own trailer, I could probably put some trailer lights on it, and then
Take
we
the
would be
next
able to.
left.
We would be able to see the trailer back there in the dark. But unfortunately, I do not have that. So. All right. I know we're almost close, but I need to go find out what that tapping noise is. Give me a second. Okay, sorry about that. I don't know what the tapping was, but I've been having this paranoid thing where I feel like there might be like critters getting into my trailer. Like, so I'm always a little paranoid about weird sounds because I've been hearing some scratching sounds. I think there's squirrels trying to get in through the bottom of my trailer. Fortunately, there's a weather barrier down there that makes it very difficult to do that, but that doesn't mean that they can't get in with enough persistence. So anytime I hear like that scratching sound where I feel like they're trying to get in through the bottom of the trailer, I will stop what I'm doing, go over there, and just stomp really loud to try to scare them away. Because I think that's what's going on there. I think it's squirrels who are trying to get. Hold on, I gotta. I gotta figure out. Okay, I think when I. Oh, that's. I'm going the wrong way. Let's. I think what I'm gonna do then is I'm gonna back up like this, and then we will swing around like this way because I have an easier time backing up if I can stick my head out the window. So. So let's get this load straightened out a little bit. It's not exactly my finest hour of trucking right now, but we'll get it. All right. Now, fortunately, when you're backing up like this and looking out, at least from a gaming perspective, you're basically just driving the trailer at this point. So I can just, if I want the trailer to go right, I steer to the right. From the controller's perspective. And then when I want it to steer left, I steer it left. So you basically just, when you're backing up like this, you just think of it like you're driving the trailer, not the truck. I think I overdid it. Yeah, we're gonna have to pull forward a little bit. But we have room. So we'll pull forward a little bit more to give myself a little bit more room to do this. We'll oversteer this way a little bit to try to get the wheels where they need to be. And then just hard to the right there. So we can hopefully get this lined up where it's supposed to be. And there we go. We'll back it up a little bit more to get it lined up properly, just because we're consummate professionals. And then drop the trailer, and that's it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed this episode of American Truck Simulator. I'm not completely sure exactly how we're going to do the format for this moving forward. We can do the time lapses. We can just do me talking for as long as it takes us to get these done. But either way, I got to figure out a way that doesn't take an hour and a half to make it happen. So we'll see. Anyways, be sure to click that like button, help the video spread out to more people. We are trying to reach 10,000 subscribers. That's our next major channel milestone. So be sure to click that subscribe button right now. Help us reach that next big number. The number doesn't go up unless you press the button. So press it. You can also join the channel as a member if you'd like early access to videos, among other perks to help us turn this into a full-time thing, or you can just leave YouTube's version of a tip with the thanks button. So again, thank you very much for watching this episode of American Truck Simulator. Be sure to come back for our next drive, and I'll see you for the next one.